Good evening, this is Jason Connolly with The Joker's Wild, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to dress a candle. To begin, here is a basic list of the things you're going to need. A sheet of paper, some kind of incense sticks, incense combs, or some other medium that you can cleanse with. I'm going to use both the bell and the incense. An oil of your choice, an herb that correlates with your intention or with the entity that this offering candle would be for. I am going to actually be making an offering candle, but dressing a candle is the same regardless. A candle holder or a saucer, something to put your candle on itself, and here's my little censer. On the side it says ashes to ashes. You also need some sort of lighter. Reminder, people, please use common sense and fire safety. Just when you think it won't burn your house down, it will. It will. I've had entire altars catch on fire. And something that you can score or mark the candle with if you choose to do so. Alright, so I'm just gonna open this bad boy up. And run it right on through this smoke right here. And then I'm going to be checking my candle for any cracks, any bumps, anything that might affect the way that it burns, so that I can take note of those beforehand, because afterwards you can read the candle wax and it will tell you something about it. But I'm just running that candle into the smoke, and then we're gonna go on and give it a nice sound cleanse. For this next part, you're just going to take that simple piece of paper and fold it in half, hot dog style. Open it up and lay your candle there. Now for this next part, you're going to need that sharp utensil that I told you about earlier. And since this is a candle that I'm going to be leaving as an offering for Ganesha, I'm just going to write Ganesha. And if you're doing an offering for a deity, since mantras are a part of Hinduism, I do write a mantra on the candle. I'm going to do this off camera though. Now, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this on camera, but I just have Ganesha carved there and the mantra carved on the back side. For this next part, you don't really need it, but it can be helpful to have it, a cloth. Something to wipe your hands with, because now we're going to take that oil that we had, and if it's already been pre-blessed and you make it yourself, yada, then you shouldn't have to do any consecration or blessing over it, which I'm not going to do that because this is already done with the oil. So I just take it in between my hands and I rub it, all that goodness together, clap it a few times to activate, and voila, we just go to rubbing it all into that candle. You can get the wick, but I suggest not doing that because it can leave the candle burning with a black smoke. Sometimes the flames can get extremely huge, and if you're a person who reads candle flames while you do your craft, then it can give you some mixed signals, because always consider the mundane before the magical. It's a real simple rule, and as someone who has been in spiritual psychosis before, It's what keeps me sane. Alright, so that's a fair amount of oil. If you have seeds in your herb blend, or your herb is a type of seed, you're going to need to use a little more pressure than what uh, you would think you would need to. But you also have to be careful that you are not going to break the candle accidentally. And these herbs are pre-mixed. This is actually my offering blend. I only use this on candles to Ganesh. Nothing more, nothing less. And I make it every now and then, just so that I have enough on standby, because I go through about 2 or 3 offering candles a week. And you just want to roll that in there. These seeds, it takes a lot of pressure because you're actually like pressing them into the wax. Whenever you're doing this part, you should be focusing on your intentions going in. Right now I have some devotional music to Lord Ganesha playing. His favorite incense is on, and I am sitting with a table right next to the altar. And give that a little dap. This is what a dressed candle tends to look like. Most of what's down here is actually seeds because it's fennel and anise. And then there is some cinnamon, a few other herbs. I'd have to actually look at my Book of Shadows to see what herbs are all in this blend. And whenever I'm through with this right here, I just fold this up and use it as a funnel. Voila. And now we set this to the side. Now this step is a little tricky and it can take a little bit of practice to get it just right. But essentially, you want to soften and melt the bottom of the candle just enough so that it forms to the shape of the candle holder that you're using. The wax should look like it's just barely bubbling, just like that. And slide it in there, hold it steady, and voila. We have a beautiful offering candle to Lord Ganesh. And this is the final candle. I would then take this and set it on the altar and light it and say the mantra to Lord Ganesh, and this would be the offering. And while this candle burns, I would do some sort of reading on Hindu mythology. I would practice astrology, card reading, anything that's in my spiritual practice that I would want to devote to Lord Ganesha. I'm going to light this candle before I do it. And it is an offering and a double offering at the same time, if you will. So I hope this helps people in some way, shape, or form learn how to dress candles. It's a very simple process, and I will go more in depth in the future, but I hope this helps for now. Blessed be.